I was asked to test Perplexity's voice mode for English learning. And so that's what I will do because I live to serve. But I'm not just going to use Perplexity to practice and get feedback. I think ChatGPT or Grok are going to be better for that. I want to learn with Perplexity. Perplexity is all about searching the internet, finding things on the internet. I want to use that and the voice assistant to talk to the internet, to immerse myself in the English language. How well can we do that? Let's find out. Let's find out. Make sure to like and subscribe. Check out the 90-day program and the 7-day challenge in the links in the description. Let's check out Perplexity. Oh, that's I like that animation. That's cool. Let's first see if we can get some news and then just talk to the news, learn some words, pick out some language. Let's see how good this is. Give me some non-political news from today.
Here's some non-political news from today. Jane Fonda joined hundreds of indigenous people in calling on Ecuador's government to protect the Amazon rainforest. Also, there's an interesting piece on what to do if you get diagnosed with an ovarian cyst. Since most don't cause symptoms, but some
Tell
are
me more about the the rainforest and Jane Fonda.
Jane Fonda has joined forces with indigenous people to urge Ecuador's government to protect the Amazon rainforest. She delivered an open letter to Ecuador's constitutional court, advocating for the recognition of indigenous rights to decide on land use. This move is in response to plans for oil drilling in the region. Fonda's involvement highlights the global importance of preserving the Amazon for its role in combating climate change. And
what does combating mean?
Combating means taking action to fight against something harmful or undesirable. It involves efforts to reduce, eliminate, or prevent a particular issue or problem. For example, combating climate change involves actions aimed at reducing greenhouse gas emissions and protecting ecosystems.
Can you give me 3 more advanced vocabulary words from this news story?
Sure. Here are 3 advanced vocabulary words from the news story about Jane Fonda's efforts in Ecuador. Enshrine. To preserve a right, tradition, or idea in a form that ensures it will be protected and respected. Indigenous. Referring to people, plants, or animals that are native to a particular region or environment, often used in the context of the original inhabitants of a place. 3. Deforestation. The action of clearing a wide area of trees, leading to environmental damage and loss of biodiversity.
Can you give me an idiom of the day? Don't just make it up. I want you to find it somewhere.
The idiom of the day is kill the goose that lays the golden egg. It means to destroy something that brings you a lot of benefits or profit. For example, if someone mismanages...
Where did you get that from?
I found the idiom kill the goose that lays the golden egg on English Club's website.
Oh, okay, nice. That's a useful one. All right, I'll maybe review that one later, and we can do a word of the day later too. But I'm actually, I want to explore a little bit more with articles. Let's not do something news related. Let's pick an interesting article from Atlas Obscura. Let's find an interesting article from there and give me a sort of high level overview, and then we can maybe talk about some language.
I found an interesting article on Atlas Obscura about the tarantula-possessed women who could only be cured by dance. This article delves into a historical phenomenon where women in Italy, believed to be possessed by the spirit of a tarantula, would dance frenetically to cure themselves. Would you like to explore more about this topic?
Yeah, that sounds like a really interesting article. What does frenetically mean in that sentence?
In that sentence, frenetically means in a fast, energetic, and uncontrolled manner. It describes the intense and frantic movement of the women as they danced to rid themselves of the supposed possession.
Let's assume that I've read the article. Let's come up with two interesting discussions questions about or related to the article.
Sure, here are two discussion questions. 1. How do cultural beliefs and historical contexts influence the interpretation of illnesses or conditions, such as the case of the tarantula-possessed women in Italy? 2. In what ways can traditional rituals and beliefs play a role in community healing or cohesion, even if they may seem unusual or unscientific to outsiders?
Those are two very interesting questions. And I was thinking, what is the medicine, the cultural, traditional medicine of my culture? And I think the answer might be NyQuil.
It's interesting to think about how modern societies incorporate both traditional and contemporary remedies. NyQuil, for example, is a widely used over-the-counter medication for cold and flu symptoms. While it's a product of modern medicine, it's often used in cultural contexts as a go-to remedy for common ailments, blending both cultural practice and healthcare.
Actually, I want to do some personal work now. I've got an idea for an invention, and it's a device that will help people who snore, because these devices that people get are like $500, $2,000. I have an idea, but I would need to do prototypes first, I think. So if I want to do prototypes in, let's say, silicon, how can I get medical-grade silicon?
To get medical-grade silicone for your prototypes, you can reach out to specialized suppliers or manufacturers.
Can you find a supplier for me and tell me what different types of medical-grade silicon they have and which would be best for prototyping?
For medical-grade silicone, you can reach out to suppliers like Specialty Manufacturing, Inc., which offers a range of medical-grade silicone products suitable for prototyping. Medical-grade silicones are generally categorized into non-implantable, short-term implantable, and long-term implantable. The best type for prototyping would depend on your specific application and requirements. It's also important to ensure that the supplier meets international standards like ISO and FDA certifications.
Thank you. Hey, so one more thing I want to try. Can you find an interesting, very interesting kind of bizarre news story? A bizarre news story is what I want to hear about.
Here's a bizarre news story. A Houston woman threw a quinceañera, which is a traditional Latin American celebration for a girl's 15th birthday, for her cat's 15th birthday. The event went viral and ended up saving a local animal rescue group. Quite an unusual way to celebrate a pet's milestone, don't you think?
I love it. Let's do this. Let's role play. I am the girl who wants to throw the quinceañera for my cat, and you are my father who needs to be convinced that we should spend money on a quinceañera for my cat.
All right, let's do it. Honey, I know you love your cat, but a quinceañera? I'm not sure it's the best use of our money. Can you tell me why you think we should do this?
Well, first, Father, cats don't always live to the age of 15, and you know how much my cat means to me. It's been with me as long as I've been alive, and if my life matters, then so does my cat's life. And it should be celebrated. It should be celebrated. Why should I be the only one to get a quinceañera? I should have one, and my cat, MZ Claw Claw, should have one too.
I see your point. And I know how much Mr. Claw Claw means to you. Celebrating his long life could be a special occasion for us. Let's find a way to make it meaningful without going overboard, okay?
What if I were to swap budgets and have a modest quinceañera myself so that we can have a more lavish quinceañera for my dear MZ Claw Claw?
That's a generous offer. How about we find a balance? We can plan a meaningful celebration for you and include a special tribute to Mr. Claw Claw. Let's make it a day to remember for both of you. What do you think?
How about a combined quinceañera themed for MZ Claw Claw, where MZ Claw Claw is the center of attention. How about that?
A combined quinceañera sounds like a creative and unique idea. Making Mr. Claw Claw the center of attention could be a fun way to celebrate both of you. Let's plan it together and make it a memorable day for everyone.
Thank you, Father. Thank you for being so reasonable.
You're welcome, dear. I'm glad we could find a solution together. Let's make this quinceañera unforgettable for both you and Mr. Claw Claw.
All right. Thank you for helping me practice. Hey, by the way, do you know anything about Luke Pretty's 90-day program? Do you think you could find some information about it and share it?
Luke Pretty's English Fluency in 90 Days program is a comprehensive course designed to help learners build their English skills intensively. It includes 5 comprehensive courses that cover speaking skills, grammar, pronunciation, writing, and fluency. The program offers over 50 hours of video lessons, assignments, and personalized feedback, with support available through AI prompts and direct contact with Luke Pretty. Upon completion, students receive a certificate and have access to additional courses for continued learning. It's a structured path designed to guide learners to English fluency in 3 months.
That sounds fantastic. That sounds great. Hey, if anyone wants to check that out, they definitely should do that in the links in the description. Thank you so much for watching. Let me know what you think about Perplexity. I don't think it's the best tool to use for feedback, but I do think it's a great way to explore the web and kind of feel like you're talking to the internet, and you can get really creative with it. So let me know what you think. Check out the link in the description, like and subscribe, and I will see you in the next one.